He wanted to pick 99 wildflowers to bring home for his wife, but he slipped and fell hard on the ground. Despite the pain, he still remembered to take the flowers home. When he got home, he found that his wife had run away with her ex-boyfriend. By the time he ran out to look for her, she was already gone. Ever since Yali's mother-in-law refused to help her daughter, she knew the old woman had made up her mind to keep her out of the family. With no other choice, she quietly left her in-laws' house. Then a neighbor told her the child's illness had returned. When Yali rushed back, it was already midnight. That night, the couple argued for the first time over the cost of surgery. Having no other option, Zyu packed his bag and went out to find work again. But after searching for days, no one was willing to hire him. He didn't know his mother was secretly behind it all. She wanted to make him desperate so he would eventually give in. Because their daughter didn't get timely treatment, her illness returned. Yali was so frightened she rushed her to the hospital. The doctor said they needed to prepare for surgery immediately, otherwise the condition could spiral out of control. To make sure her daughter could be treated in time, Yali had no choice but to give in to fate. So she called her mother-in-law and agreed to her terms. If she agreed to disappear, her mother-in-law would pay for the surgery. So Yali packed her things. She took the only family photo and left the house in a hurry. Then she asked her ex-boyfriend to pick her up and leave together. She did it so the neighbors would think she ran off with another man. The neighbors who saw this were completely shocked. Meanwhile, Zyu, still jobless, had to walk back home. On his way, he saw Yali's favorite flowers blooming by the cliff. On impulse, he decided to pick some for her. But after picking a few, he accidentally fell off the edge. Fortunately, Jung Soo-hyun, who happened to pass by, saw him. She was the daughter of a wealthy family and also a skilled doctor. She treated his wounds and then they went their separate ways. When Zyu rushed home with the flowers, he found the house completely empty. Then he saw a letter his wife had left on the table. He realized that Yali had quietly left. The letter said she blamed their daughter for being a burden, and that she was tired of living in poverty. She wanted to find a happier life for herself. Seeing that his wife had abandoned them broke Zyu completely. He tried to chase after her, but the neighbor told him Yali had run away with another man. Hearing that, his heart turned cold. With no other choice, he took his daughter home from the hospital. Later, Yali came back as she had promised her mother-in-law. She only wanted her daughter to get the surgery quickly. The old woman was pleased with her decision, but she reminded her to keep her word and disappear afterward. Soon the wealthy mother came to her son's home, pretending to scold Zyu for being too stubborn all these years. She said he should have asked her for help when the child got sick. Then she acted as if she was ready to accept Yali as her daughter-in-law. She told them to pack up and return to Seoul for the child's treatment. Once the child recovered, she promised to host a wedding for them. Her performance convinced Zyu to believe her, but since Yali had already left, there was nothing he could do. Not long after, he took his daughter back to Seoul for surgery. Unexpectedly, the surgeon turned out to be Jung Soo-hyun, the woman he once met. Yali worried about her child's condition. She secretly waited at the hospital for news. Then she saw her daughter being rushed into emergency care. The child's condition had suddenly worsened, nearly causing collapse. Zyu knelt by the operating room praying silently. Yali hid nearby waiting for the surgery to end. When Jung Soo-hyun told him the operation was a success, both parents finally breathed a sigh of relief. Zyu hugged Jung Soo-hyun tightly to thank her. His scheming mother saw the scene, and a new plan began to form in her mind.